Hey you, it's Jess here and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing another plan with me for January 5th through the 11th in my 2026 planner, which is OkPlans inserts. And I'm using the Scribble Prints Co kit Enchanted Winter with the Scribble Prints Co Snow Bundle in silver. And we're just doing a classic winter spread. This art is also Beauty and the Beast themed, which is really pretty. I love the Rococo addition to the theme. Because of that, I'm very much focusing on the winter elements for the spread. And I will be color blocking as always, just what I like to do. And this base went down a little bit better than the first week because it is my first time using OkPlans inserts. But I will say I'm really enjoying using them. I just had to adjust how I did the base a bit because there's more space at the top versus the bottom versus other inserts that I've used like Caress Press. But I got the washi down this time and I think it looks really good. And it is nice to have a big space for deco across the top. I also added in the little additional pieces of deco, little snowflakes. I like the way it came out. But yeah, so this week, it's the first full week of January in 2026. And I've gotten back into my reading. You'll see if you've been following me, you know, I kind of stopped reading in November. Didn't read it all in December. So I've been getting back into reading. I started reading at the end of last week. And getting some good books in. And we're watching a lot of new TV, a lot of interesting TV, rewatching some TV. We started meal prepping in January, which we're still doing here in April, which very happy and proud of ourselves. So it's been fun to make meal preps. This is the week we started getting into the habit properly, so we started doing it every Saturday. Except for right now, I'm filming this on Easter where because of the holidays, you know, Friday was a holiday, Monday's a holiday, today's a holiday. So it's all kind of out of whack at the moment, but we're surviving. We'll get back into our routine the coming week. But yeah, so it was a good week. I was working on a shop set this week. Probably next week we'll find out what that was. Read some books, and I also started playing a game in the morning that we're gonna get up to it. When I start it, I'll tell you about the game. You'll see it for a while in my planner, but just know that I'm not playing that game anymore. But we'll get into it when we get to the game, when we plan the day by day. But I think we're done with the base, and we'll start the day by day now. All right. So first things first. On Monday, as always, we're putting in Coffee Monday. And then we are putting in, I had a video go up. This was my January reading journal video. And then I was also journaling. This morning I was doing the Art January journal prompts for the month from Virgo and Paper. And there is a video up on my channel if you haven't watched it yet. I do a big flip through of every page. I did 31 journal pages for those prompts. Completely finished it. I was so proud of myself. And I show you some of the process of the actually doing whole pages, and then some of them I just flip through with you. So you get a mix of both because it took a long time. But yeah, so I was journaling frequently during January and also Feb. I wasn't able to finish it in the month, but that is okay. It was still good to work on for the months. All right, I keep writing down in my notes that it's January Read Journal, Jan Read Journal. But it's the only journal that I do, so I'm just changing it to Jan Journal. I don't need to really specify that it's my reading journal. Plus, it's also kind of an everything journal. So, you know, it's just my journal, my one and only journal. So then I also, in the morning before work, I played some Animal Crossing. I was kind of teetering off here, you know, I'd hit 3 stars and I was working on the island. But I feel like after so many years and playing 600 hours of it, I'm kind of I've gotten everything I've wanted from the game out. And I feel like in late game I get really stuck on different codes, custom codes and stuff, and it kind of becomes unfun. So I've stopped at the moment playing Animal Crossing. But I feel like, I got over 600 hours out of the game. I think I'm good. So Animal Crossing, then I did some work on the shop set, and then we were rewatching the One Piece anime. And that was our simple Monday. Then on Tuesday, we have another lot of Animal Crossing. So we'll put that in there. And we also worked. And I was finally getting another audiobook going. Whoop, get these stickers going. And I'm going to use these winter cassette tapes from Papershire for my audiobooks. So I put my audiobook here in the corner here, which I like to do that with one of the books that I'm reading during the week, so all I have to do is read. I don't really have to write out the name of the book, because I do like to have the name references of the books that I'm reading. But I was finally getting back to The Vanished Birds. I started in November, and it wasn't like a bad book. I was really enjoying it, but I just fell out of reading. I just had to stop reading for a while through those months. So I got back into The Vanished Birds and really, really enjoyed it. It's a really interesting sci-fi book. The author also wrote, Simon Jimenez also wrote The Spear Cuts Through Water, which is a really cool fantasy. So I highly recommend both of their books, The Vanished Birds and The Spear Cuts Through Water. So The Vanished Birds, it finished, and then on the last sentence, I just started crying, tears down my cheeks. It was a very emotional end, I feel like, but it kind of just didn't really hit me until right at the very end when the book kind of closed, and I was like, well, I'm crying. Okay, and then for the rest of the day, I played Nikki, Infinity Nikki, which is I play it every single day. It is a gacha game, live service, open world, adventure dress-up game, and I love it. So I play it every day because I got dailies to do. And yeah, so I don't always mark it every day in my planner, but I do play it every day, just so you know. So we have Nikki here. We made some minestrone soup in the slow cooker. We're watching One Piece anime, and then I was reading the books that I started last week, which was City of Last Chances by Adrian Tchaikovsky. All right, then we have Wednesday. And Wednesday was a big day. It was 2.1 of Infinity Nikki, so the new update patch, the new story, which was very exciting. So I'm putting that in here. That was an update called, so during the 1.0 series, season of the game, so 1.5, 1.2, every update was called Bubble Season, Eerie Season. There were different seasons. And then they decided for the 2.0s to make them, I guess, a proper title. So 2.0 was Terror's Call. 2.1 was called Life as a Poem. Really, really, there was a whole mini game about raising these new, really scary big creatures that live in this new map world called behemoths. So we're raising behemoths, and we also saw sort of their life cycle. It was really sad and really pretty. So that was the new update. And then I was playing some Animal Crossing and did some work. All right, then I'm going to put a sticker down here in the bottom for reading again. And then I also was, while I was working, I was listening to The Vanished Birds. And then we have Vanished Birds. We had roast chicken for dinner. And we watched the show on Apple TV, Pluribus, which is a sci-fi show about a hive mind. Pluribus is really good. We finished it in 2 days, okay? I think it was 8 episodes. We watched like 4 and 4. We were really into it, so highly recommend Pluribus. It is so good. Loved it. So that was the first half of the week. And I think it's looking really pretty. Super light and airy. So now let's go into Thursday. We're not doing as much yapping this this week versus last week's. If you want a longer plan with me and you didn't watch the first week of January, definitely go back and watch that. Because I had some yapping to do, and also I showed you a bunch of my planner stuff as well at the end. How I set up these inserts a bit more. They're not quite done yet, but we're getting there. I also didn't realize that, because maybe you're watching this like out of order or watching it later, but I should apologize for my lack of one nail. I've just finished filming the first week, so this is like one video after the other, but there's been some time separation since you watched these episodes together, so I will say I apologize for my missing nail, but I put these on yesterday and this one popped off while making dinner, and I can't bring myself to replace them, redo them, so we just have to live with the one nail, and I apologize for that. Ah yes, so Thursday is Heartopia. So I started playing this game Heartopia. It started around this is the first day it came out. It is also a gacha live update game, but it's way more like the Nikki game is like a super adventure. There's platforming, there's caverns, there's lots of stuff to do. Heartopia is a lot more simple, and it's like an actual multiplayer game where you load into a map with 11 other people there all the time. And I played it for quite a long time. It was very simple to do. It had a really good limit, like daily limit of things you could do each day. But I will say right now, I 100% do not recommend you play this game. Yeah, I played it for like over a month, but I should have quit earlier. The first thing that happened was that they have puzzles in the game, and I love doing puzzles, like jigsaw puzzles. So I was very mad that all of them were done by AI, generative AI. Even though so the first month of this game, they raked in like $20 million or something crazy, okay? So, first things first. So basically, I started off the game never spending money on it, deciding I won't spend money on it ever. No money spent, because it is a free game with microtransactions and gacha. But, so I decided never to spend any money on the game because of the Gen AI. They have artists, they can do these puzzles, it's not that hard. Anyway. Then it got worse and worse. Let me write this down. Then the gacha started. The gacha came out, and the main gacha. There's 2 sets of gacha and 2 sets of money, currency to be able to do the gachas. So the main gacha though is paid only currency. There's basically no way to farm it yourself. In Infinity Nikki, you can farm the currency completely free to play, and you can finish a gacha basically every 2 to 3 months completely. Not so in the Heartopia one. We got a couple of currencies for free from the beginning of the game and then through an event, but after the beginning of the game codes, they all became limited time. So you had to use them within a specific date of time, and it was before the next gacha banner. So you could never save these, so you could save up over time for a banner if you're free to play. You can't do that. So it's literally impossible. You have to pay to do the gacha, and to finish one of the gachas, it's like $400. $400 for a single gacha. There's basically like 30 items in the gacha, and they do duplicate. There are duplicates, so you can pull all duplicates constantly. And that's the one thing with Infinity Nikki is there's like a 10-piece outfit, and you will never get a duplicate of that outfit pieces until you've completed it. So every 20 pulls, you are guaranteed a new piece of the outfit. Up until hard pity, like if you have no luck and get nothing early, it's only 200 pulls. you get everything, no duplicates. This is not guaranteed. Well, they say every 30 pulls you should get a new thing, but that's a lot. And then you have the ones that you can get the currency as a free-to-play person, but every pull goes up in price. So the first pull is like 10 crystals or whatever. Then if you want to pull again, it's 30 crystals. Then 60 crystals. Then 90 crystals. Then 100, 120 crystals. What? The gacha blew my mind. And a lot of people will argue like, well, that's just gacha, you know. But no, like, people complain about Finny Nikki, and that gacha is head and tails so much better than this one. It was literally impossible. So that was the second thing for the game for me. But the rest of the day, we'll continue on this rant. But the rest of the day, I played Nikki. We made buffalo chicken dip for dinner. We finished watching Pluribus, and I finished my book, City of Lost Chances. Alright, the next thing for me, the main thing of me finishing the game is that I'd kind of gotten to the end of, I don't know, like, the gameplay became really repetitive and really boring, and the same thing over and over after a while. And they did start a winter event while I was playing, but that also got really repetitive and boring after a while. So the main part of me like quitting the game was mostly that there was nothing that I enjoyed doing anymore in it. But that was the death knell. And then there's something that happened after I quit playing that I'm like even more like, don't play this game. Well, first of all, there were so many bugs, and so many bugs that lasted the entire time I played and were never fixed. And this is not a brand new game, guys. Sure, it came out this week in global, but it had already been out for a year in China. It's a Chinese game. It had already been out for a year in China. So they shouldn't have these bugs anymore. Like, the pets were incredibly annoying and buggy, and made it hard to play. And it should have been fixed before it was even on global servers, but maybe it's been fixed now, who knows. But that was another thing, it was just endless bugs. And then, oh my god, their Discord mods, their official Discord, you guys. Their mods were the most unprofessional, childish people you've ever seen. I was kind of like enwrapped by reading the drama about their mods. So first of all, on Friday, I had a Plan With Me go up. I played that game, and I did some work. Seriously, there are whole Reddit posts, like, just sharing the horrible things that those mods would say. They were, I swear they were like 13 years old, which, they were homophobic, transphobic, racist. They would ban you for pointing out someone being a Nazi, and then they would keep the Nazi. They wouldn't ban them. And then, and they could barely write a full English sentence, even though that was listed as their only language. The main, if you've known about this drama, that you know the main mod, I believe now that the mod has stepped down. Probably because I got so many complaints. I myself actually sent an in-game complaint about the mods. I sent it, like, I went in-game and send feedback, sent them links to screenshots of what their mods in Discord were doing, because they represent your game, they represent your community, and they were so gross. And I was like, this makes you look unprofessional, childish, and racist. And we'll get into that in the very next second. But around that, I was like, I didn't like the way the community was, the way people were laughing with the mods and agreeing with them, and just being disgusting. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to quit now. But stuff happened after I quit. So the rest of Friday, I finished The Vanished Birds. Really, really good. I cried at the end. A beautiful sci-fi. Highly recommend. Played some Nikki, watched a new episode of Fallout, and I started my next book, Promise of Blood, which is a gunpowder fantasy. So it's a fantasy, but they have like flintlock guns. They use gunpowder. It's a really cool like subgenre of fantasy, but I will say I really enjoyed the book, but I will say it's very much a man book. It's men being men with men about men, and they're manly. There's a couple of women, but they're not great characters. I wish they were better, but this is a man book, so if you're into man books, and also flintlock guns, which are really fun. They're like gunpowder mages, so they actually they can control gunpowder, which is really cool. I recommend it if you can deal with a man book. That was Promise of Blood that I started this day. Alright, so I quit Hearttober this time. Not for a long time, the planner, I will say again, I should have quit sooner, but I was still enjoying sort of the daily loop of the gameplay. I did some of the multiplayer stuff. You know, we did fishing, we planted some plants, did some cooking, and I enjoyed that mindlessness while I was, you know, getting my brain prepared to work for the day. So that's all I'll say about that. But I don't recommend starting it now. Anyway, so the next little thing I talked about, the mods making the game look racist. Well, they put in this little event where a character, one of the NPCs, asks you for one of the bizarre poison mushrooms, which are you can't use in the game because they're supposed to be poison mushrooms, but he wants to eat one for some reason. I feel like they shouldn't be. Also, this is a gambling gacha game and it's catered towards children, and people like excuse it because it's like, oh, children play it, so they don't know any better. And they had a My Little Pony gacha banner, you know, but this should be an 18+ game because gacha with money is gambling. But anyway, so you give this NPC the poison mushroom and it reacts to it. So this NPC is basically the only one who has dark skin. They're like dark brown, and they have the only natural hairstyle in the game, the locks. They have locks and they have dark brown skin, and the poison mushroom made them dance around like a monkey. Like a monkey. Okay, and they're like, oh, you know, it's just, he's not even black. He's an South Asian character. And it's like, okay, but South Asians have also been derogatorily referred to as this. And, like, dances exist in the game, but not this monkey dance. This is a brand new dance that they did for this character. And they're like, oh, he's just being, and they apologized and took it out. But they didn't apologize that it was racist. They just apologized that people didn't like it. They're like, oh, it's just supposed to be a silly reaction to the poison mushroom, which we shouldn't be eating in the first place. But it was just silly, but people didn't like it, so we took it out. It's like, but you didn't say why people didn't like it. Anyway. And I was just like, you know what? Maybe their mods do represent them on their Discord. But I was like, I'm glad I quit before this. So that's why I'm saying, don't play Heartopia. Don't. Even though it's free to play, you don't put any money in. I don't think, like, the quality is terrible. It's a mobile game. I was playing on PC. They put it on there, but even on my PC, which can run Infinity Nikki, which is a crazy looking game, you could play it on ultra graphics. This game, which is a mobile game, and it does not look any better on PC, it still loads in the distance. Like, I can see it loading in, and it shouldn't because it's not a heavily graphic game. And all of the, like, buttons and everything, it's all still just for mobile, so they haven't ported it to the PC properly at all. It's just a cash grab, I feel like. They're just cashing in on these cash-only gachas, and people fell for it. They're paying $200 to $400 per gacha banner. And that's like, there's 3 of them. There's a furniture one, a fashion one, and they're all spending all that money, and anyway, that is my rant done. So, I will do a little reminder at the start of every plan with me while I'm playing the game. Don't play it. Just in case new people start to watch, they see me playing the game, and I'm still marking it because I was playing it in my planner. But I'm just saying, don't play it. No! Obviously, it's your free will. You could play you want. It's free, but I don't like the devs or anything. No, I don't like it. Alright, so Saturday, is this when the pit came back? I think that's when the pit restarted, the new season of the pit. Loving it, still love the pit. Really good medical show, especially if you've watched ER. And also, if you've loved the pit and you haven't watched ER, you should give ER a try. It's really good. At least for the first, I don't know, 10 seasons. Then it gets a bit iffy in the 2000s. But we watched most of the ER and really enjoyed it. And then I have a big blog for meal prep because when we first started meal prepping, it took us a couple of hours, 2 hours. Locke and I both cooking in the kitchen and making the 2 dishes. We'd make enough for 6 portions for each dish, so the 2 of us would have 3 days of lunch, and then each, so 6 days of lunch. So it did take us 2 hours, but some of the dishes, since we've done repeat ones, have only taken about an hour to cook and get into the fridge. So yeah, it's been really fun doing meal prep. You'll be seeing that every Saturday for a while. So good meal prep, and then okay, when we're cleaning the pantry, I put a bunch of Heidi's old and extra stuff on the very bottom of the pantry, and I didn't realize that I had put some old bags of catnip, some catnip bags on the very bottom of the pantry in a box, and ever since then, the week before, Heidi had been like digging in the pantry. Every time it was open, she'd run in there and be digging in the pantry. Like, why does she keep digging in the pantry? So Locke finally had a look in there and found the catnip. So I just put it in catnip here. So we're like, okay, let's actually give her some catnip. Put it on some of her toys, you know. And she's been a catnip fiend ever since. We've never used a lot of catnip with Heidi because the very first time we tried to show her like a toy with catnip in it, she did not like it. She'd be like, oh no, oh. She was like really afraid of the catnip, but now she loves it. And so in her old age, we're like, you know what, let's give her some drugs. She's got arthritis, she should have a nice chill time with some catnip. So this week started a real catnip journey because she found it in the bottom of the. Because, like, I bought a, like, cardboard scratcher and stuff, and it came with a packet of catnip, you know? So I had some lying around. So now she has some catnip every now and then, just to have some fun, play with her toys. We put it on her, like, she has this long fish toy. It's not like one of those, not those ones that can, like, they look like a real fish. It's a fake fish, but it's long and thin, and it's perfect for them doing their, like, bunny kicks when they're breaking necks. It's really why they use it. So I put catnip on that, and she holds it and kicks it and loves it. And I also put on some of her like bowls, and she loves that. So yeah, I'm the catnip. I played some Nikki. We started rewatching The Good Place. So we never finished The Good Place. I think we watched the first 2 seasons, and then maybe the like first 2 episodes of the 3rd season. And then we kind of dropped out of watching it, and we never knew how it finished. We've never been spoiled for The Good Place. So like, you know what, let's finally finish the show. We'll restart from the very beginning because it's been so many years. So this is when we started watching The Good Place, and I was reading more of the book Promise of Blood. One thing I totally forgot about The Good Place was just how funny it is. It's so good. And if you haven't watched The Good Place, I say go into a blind. It's about a bunch of characters who have died and now they're in heaven, and just go from there, yo. It's a comedy, even though, you know, they're dead and in heaven, but I'd say I highly recommend The Good Place, especially after finishing it, but we'll talk about that in the Plan With Me where I finished The Good Place. But after seeing the actual ending of the show, I say watch it. If you like it, watch the whole thing because it has a great ending. You know, it's always sad when a show has not a good ending, but this one has a really good finale. So started rewatching The Good Place, and I highly recommend it. So on Sunday, did some laundry, usually washing the bedding, played that game, and did some work on Sunday. Yes, I did a lot of work actually in the start of January here. All right, work. And then we also have The Good Place. Oh, it started raining. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it because the door is open. So you guys might be hearing the rain. I hope you guys are because it's lovely. I do love a bit of rain. I'll just be quiet for a second. Might be able to hear it. Okay. So watching The Good Place, we had burgers for dinner. Burgers. And then I was playing some more Nikki and I decided to mark it big. I know, because why not? And then reading Promise of Blood. Alright, and that is the finished last half of the week. Looking so pretty. So let's get it into the planner and I will show you the finished spread. Alright, there we go. I am on 3% power on my battery. So I will quickly show you this. This is the finished spread. I think it came out so pretty. I love all these silver snowflakes. And just, yeah, I love the way it came out. I still love color blocking. It makes me so happy. I didn't really want to change my style at all. So I'm very happy with how it's all going. And my handwriting it's holding in there. I'm handwriting everything other than my work scripts. So I like the way it's come out. So let me know if you like this plan with me. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. Leave some snowflakes and snows and snowmen down below and maybe some roses, I don't know, for the Beauty and the Beast theme. In your comment as emoji if you enjoyed this. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. I love you. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.